G'day, if you've been watching my Zwift racing series recently, you've probably noticed that I've been having quite a few trainer issues. The trainer is a Kickr Snap V1 trainer, and it seems to be cutting out, losing connection quite regularly, having trouble connecting at all. That's both on Bluetooth and on Plus. I was pretty adamant that I was going to just give the trainer the flick, but after doing some research this week, I think I might be able to. I'll give it one last shot and see if I can actually get to the bottom of the problem. There's a couple of really good videos which I'll link to below. Shane Miller, of course, has one about troubleshooting Plus connectivity issues, and he goes through about 4 or 5 different things to look out for. He's given me some really good tips which I'll be looking at implementing or trying out today. Also, there's a video from Hambini, who's a bit of a guru on bearings and bottom brackets and bottom bracket creak. So check out his videos as well, but I'll link below. He has a video where he talks about improving the Kickr Snap, the way the sensor pickup works. So I've also been implementing some of those fixes as well. Yeah, we'll see if we can get to the bottom of the problem. Now, if all else fails, we can turn this into an unboxing video, and I'll head down to the bike shop and I'll pick up a new Kickr. So let's get set up and let's see if we can get to the bottom of this problem. That's pretty much everything set up. I've got the trainer all good to go. I've got my PC ready, but I haven't got that turned on. First, I want to try the Wahoo utility, the Wahoo app, and see how that's picking up the trainer. It's pretty much everything exactly as I've got it set up for racing, minus a fan, minus a green screen, and everything else is pretty much accurate to when I'm facing problems on the Sram Send-It Series on Tuesday night. The only thing is, it's Saturday morning and there might be less interference out here, which is possible. So that's the only thing that I found. Like last week when I tried to race on Saturday morning, it worked perfectly, and then on Tuesday night I had problems. But that aside, I've tried to reproduce everything as it stands. So let's start off with the computer off, and let's look at the how things are coming up on the Wahoo app. Okay, so we'll just fire up the Wahoo app. I'm wearing my heart rate monitor. I've got my Favera Sioma pedals all hooked up as well. So as you can see, the Kickr Snap in both Bluetooth or Plus, it's barely registering anything. Now, as I said, in Plus, I don't. When I connect to Zwift, I have similar problems, and I'm using Plus there with the dongle and everything. More on that later. But I'm just using the companion app, the Wahoo utility app, sorry, because it has. You can see the strength of the signals here. So I'm using that. I guess it's not entirely accurate because I could have other problems with the PC on Plus, but I'm just using this to help me diagnose if I've got a problem with the signal, I guess. And it's good because it's got those bars there, so it gives me an idea as to if the signal is high or not. What I notice is whenever I have problems is I don't get very many bars. Like if you see now, I'm not even getting any bars on the Bluetooth, and occasionally I'm getting some on the Plus signal. Yeah, so that's I mean, it's exactly the same setup. Now, you know what I noticed was look at my heart rate. I'm wearing my HRM, my Wahoo Kickr heart rate monitor, just to show you how strong that signal is. Obviously, proximity-wise, it's very close. But yeah, that's what I noticed. I mean, look at that. It's got all the bars are showing. So that's what I noticed. Now, watch what happens if I move out of the way of the trainer. See that? The bars on the Bluetooth, I've got 3 bars now. So obviously the signal is not really very strong. Now, this is the normal setup, so the trainer should be able to handle this sort of a distance, but I mean, there could be, I don't know. This is just what I found. I mean, it's gone back again, but yeah. So that was my clue. Now, if I take this off and move around, you'll see that as I come down here, look how many bars I've got now. Now I've got 3 bars on Bluetooth and a good strong 2 bars on ANT+ on the Kickr. I also know this is normally when I'm running the PC with the ANT+ dongle on the cable. This is about normally where I have it on this side. So as you can see, it's not bad here either. But if I come around here, it's even stronger. So see how the signal now I've got about 3 bars, and if I come around here, if I come on this side, I'm basically running, I don't know if you can see me, but if I come over here, I've got almost all the bars. So the signal seems to be the strongest here. So the theory is, if I have it set up on this side, then that might work better. It seems to be as simple as that. So yeah, so I've got plenty of bars up here, but when I move it up onto the stem here, look, it's almost gone. My reception is almost gone on there you go, the Bluetooth's gone, and I've got very little on the ANT+. If I sit on the bike, obviously I'm providing some, look, it's completely dropped. And I think I need to be on the bike, otherwise it's not going to be much fun. So that's what I'm finding. I don't know if anyone else has found that the signal is that weak, or but yeah, that's what I found. Now, if I want to do a spin down from here, I'll connect in Bluetooth mode. Now it's trying to pick up. It might work today. It's just luck of the draw. It's, you know, oh, there, I can feel it kicking in. Okay, so it's working today. It's a miracle. But I don't know. I'm sure on Saturday night, on Tuesday for the SRAM race, it'll give me all sorts of problems. But so now let's try the Zwift. Let's see if we can set the Zwift up and get a proper signal on that. So for the PC, I was using a fairly old USB, probably USB 2 extension cable to go around the back with the, you know, the usual dongle, ANT+ dongle. Something that Shane Miller suggested was an active USB cable, so I might be clutching at straws, but I've gone and picked up one of those. So this one's from Jcar. It was about 34 bucks. It's 5 meters. It looks okay. Officeworks has one as well. It's a bit more expensive, the Officeworks one. They just didn't have it in stock at my store, otherwise I may have picked up that one instead. The Officeworks one, I think, might be better than this one. It seems to suggest that it had better shielding on the cable, which, you know, it could help reduce potentially some interference on the cable. So for the few bucks extra, I probably would have got the Officeworks one, but this is the Jcar version. I don't know, it might make a difference. It might just be a deal breaker, so I'm trying that as well. So I'll get this set up and we'll see how it goes with Zwift. I'm not really sure. It's working okay here. I think I could be getting much more interference on Saturday. But anyway, let's keep going with this experiment. This cable is actually quite good. Firstly, it's USB 3, so that's going to be better. But this is really hefty looking cable. This is quite impressive actually. Let's get this off. I just threw my dongle. That's really smart. Yeah, this looks really beefy. So, and there's the active USB. So it's apparently it's like a repeater. This is actually powered. So apparently USB on a cable can go for about 3 meters. If you look at your average USB cable, normal USB cable, they only come in a maximum of I think 3 meters, and that's because that's about as far as long as the cable can take before it loses loses power, I think, because as we know, USB is a powered port. So the idea is with this one, it's actually powered at the end and it's a repeater, and then you can actually probably put another cable on it. But the idea here is obviously just to boost the signal as much as possible. So we'll give this a shot anyway. As we saw with the mobile phone, with the Wahoo app, I found that the signal was the strongest for both the Ant Plus and Bluetooth around this side of the trainer, the opposite side of the flywheel. So when I've been using the dongle on the PC, I've always had it over on the left side. So I'm going to try it over on the right side as well. So we'll see if that makes a difference. So this is my highly technical pot that I use to basically just lift it off the ground. So the dongle goes in there. We'll just balance that there. I've got it fairly close. That's it. Let's fire up Zwift. So something else another tip that I picked up off Shane Miller's video, was that the Garmin Express app, if it's running on the background, can cause interference as well. So I'm just going to check that to make sure, because I do have Garmin Express on this PC, and sure enough, the Garmin Express app is running. So that could be another one of my issues. So I'm going to quit that. Yep. So we'll quit the Garmin Express app, make sure that's not running. Now obviously in terms of scientific experiments, everyone knows you should be changing one thing and then measuring and seeing what the result is, and so forth, so that you're able to isolate what the problem is. I'm not really following that, am I? I'm just basically changing everything and trying everything at once. So hopefully, I don't really care what the problem is, as long as I get things working again. That's the main objective. So anyway, let's fire up Zwift and let's see how things are looking in there. Okay, so if we look at our pairing screen, we can see here I've got the Favero power meter connected, cadence, heart rate, and I've got my Wahoo on FEC. Let's just do a ride. I don't even know what course I just chose, doesn't matter, Innsbruck. How this runs. I'm not even wearing my proper shoes, so anyway. Everything seems to be working fine. What to do? I was also looking at, I was pretty much convinced I was just going to go out and buy a new trainer. There's a couple of things. One, I've already got a trainer and I hate spending money twice. Two, Kickr Core or Neo, they're bloody expensive. And for that sort of money, I could almost buy a new bike. Also, when you start to read about some of the issues that people have with even the Kickr 18, it's a bit scary. And also, after playing around a little bit during the week and some reading, I wasn't entirely convinced that just buying a new trainer was the solution to the problem. So I'm thinking better to try and fix what I've got before going out and getting a replacement. Also, because I'm using the power meter, the pedals on the power meter, this Kickr Snap is fine. Okay, it wears out the tyres, but I'm just using cheap tyres anyway. It's good, it folds up, it's easy to carry, to move around because I set things up. And yeah, I'm quite happy with it. As far as wheel-on trainers, it's got a nice heavy flywheel. It doesn't feel too bad. So if I can make it work, I'm more than happy to stick with it. But I just can't have you know, when you want to enter an event or a race in Zwift, you need everything to be a bit more reliable, and it's been really causing me a lot of grief recently. So sure enough, today when there's no real pressure, I guess, it's all working fine. But hopefully it's some of the changes that I've been making to the trainer. I did mention also one of Hambini's videos. What he talks about is the gap. I'll link below as I mentioned, but if you watch his video, he talks about the Kickr Snap, the gap between the reflective sticky on the flywheel and the sensor and the pickup. And I mean, he shows some of the run out on the bearing and some of the inaccuracies, I guess, there are in the trainer, just the way they're built. And that gap and that distance can be quite big. So he replaces the reflective sticky with the aluminium, you know, the type of thing you might aluminium insulation type of tape, much more reflective. I haven't done that yet, but he packs or spaces the sensor with some tape behind it to bring it out closer to the sensor. I did that during the week, so I pulled it all apart and put some tape there for that. And that's moved the pickup or the sensor much closer to the flywheel. So hopefully that also helps, because the symptoms are, I don't get what I see on the companion app or the utility app is I don't see very many bars coming up on the signal like I showed you. And then if I still try and connect, it doesn't pick up any power. It only picks up the firmware version, but no power, no speed, no RPM, so no wheel speed. Similarly, if I just decide to, if the race is going to start and I just decide to try and soldier on, I'll go into Zwift, connect through the AMP Plus like you saw. You can see the trainer, but it just doesn't get it like a signal from it, I guess. It doesn't pick up the, because I'm using the power meter pedals, what happens in Zwift is I've got power, it's picking up the power, but it's not controlling the trainer properly. It almost feels like there's no resistance on the pedals, or the trainer is not transmitting speed or something like that. I don't know if you saw in my last race, at the end I just lost all the resistance and I was just spinning in top gear. So that's what it seems to be doing. Not really sure what the problem is, but it could be something to do with the pickups, the way it's on the sensor there. So hopefully I'll fix that, and it could be something to do with the signal strength. So I'm hoping the combination of the cable and the better positioning with the dongle there, I'm hoping that works a little bit better. Now if we go back into the companion app, the Wahoo utility app, sorry. Okay, so if we just go into the Wahoo utility again and have a look, well, there you go. You can see I'm climbing now at 3%, and I can definitely feel that. So that's good, so that's working. And now, if you're seeing my screen, see it's not picking up anything from the Kickr. See the Bluetooth has got 1 bar and then 0. On the AMP Plus it's picking up nothing. My heart rate, look at that, full strength. So I just think it's a weak signal. And maybe Saturday night there's the fans going, that's going to add some interference. There's much more interference out here which I don't really have much control over. Jesus, this is getting steep. Whew. It's not that cold anymore. Anyway, so yeah, so you can see here I'm not getting any, not really getting any set kick. But if I let me get this in an easier gear so I don't. So again, you can see it there. Wahoo Fitness on the top two, the Kickr Snap on Bluetooth and AMP Plus, no Bluetooth at all, and very little. See the AMP Plus kicks in and out as well. Now if I get off the bike, clear the road a little bit, let's see what happens. There we go. The Bluetooth now has 3 bars. So does the AMP Plus. Okay, so it's not bad. It was dropping out a little bit there as well, but there's 2 bars now. Now if I take that off and come around here and try not to fall over, look, now I've got 3 bars and not much. The AMP Plus is a bit. This is normally where I had my pickup, over here. So that sort of disproves my theory because the signal is quite strong here. I do have 3 bars here. But what happens if I go around this side? See, if I go around here where my speed, I've got the dongle now, I've got 4 bars. So that's much stronger signal there. Last race, I was off camera. There was a lot of swearing going on. I just barely made the race start. Yeah, so I was pretty adamant that I wasn't going to muck around anymore. I'm sick of this thing, and I was just going to get a new trainer. But now I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure if buying a new trainer is necessarily the problem. I mean, sure, it might fix the problem. There's obviously something wrong with the signal on this one because it shouldn't be that weak. It could be anything. I mean, with any connector technology, it could be, it could be 100 different things. It could be something with a different laptop. It could be, could be anything. Hopefully, with these few changes that I've made, I'll be able to get the system working a bit more reliably, and maybe against my better judgment, I'm going to stick with this for the race 5 for race 6 for the final race of the Sram Send-It Series on Tuesday. So stay tuned, guys. I'll have this full setup going for race 6, and hopefully have a good result and a good video for you. So stay tuned for that one. Hope you have a good weekend. Get out there or get on your trainer. Watch the tour, or just do what I'm going to do, and that's just relax. I'll see you later.